Okay, all of the straps there, that's what the roof sheeting will screw to. I had to invert it. It's 50-50 here, so this makes more sense, but I already had it put in one way. I mean, you can see daylight through one of the screws facing up, so you had two flanges to screw to. This makes a little more sense because you have two screws holding it to the main structure, but it's just frustrating because you look around and half of the people do it this way, half of the people don't even use this stuff, and then here I am trying to follow other people, and the first thing the girl says when she comes over yesterday is, "Did it backwards." Fucking aggravating. So anyway, that's fixed. So I got that all done last night and this morning, and I fixed a couple issues anyway. I'm a lot happier with that, and it's in the long run it'll be a lot stronger. So hopefully by the end of today that pop 17 sheets will be up in the air. That is the goal. So I bought the heavier stuff, and that stuff is heavy, so hopefully the two of us can do it. If not, we're gonna have to go wrangle up somebody. So that's where we're at today, and then we'll start working on forms. They're all kind of set roughly in place, and then we'll have to get some wood to fill in that gap, but I got some. We can just tack weld those in place. This one's pretty level all the way along. I just got it temporarily put in place. That should hold though. That's pretty strong. I just gotta tap the inner ones, and then if we put some tack welds on the back side, it shouldn't go anywhere. Put some tack welds on, and I'll move those rods that are on the inside to the outside, or just cut some more. So alright, that's the update for this morning. So hopefully this afternoon you won't see daylight through there. Alright, it's almost 9:30. Got 5 sheets up so far. So that's gonna make a big difference, man. It's gonna keep this so much cooler, and even though we get a lot of heat off of the from the sun off of that, most of it will go up, and then I'll install a ceiling fan. But during the summer, this is all green and lush, but it's the dry season, so everything drops its leaves. It's just trying to conserve water. So in summertime, this will be all lush, so we won't have much of the morning sun, because that's east there, and this is west, so the front side gets all the evening sun. But yeah, she ain't square, she ain't pretty, but if you look at the lines, the sheets are square to the main beam, this beam, but our pipes going over there not too square. So bye bye. You don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. Okay, it's 11:15 and we are complete. That's what I expected, because what we're going to do is next is we're going to continue on. It'll be several months before I get ready for that, but this will continue on. So I had one extra sheet. I knew I'd be close, but I just got one extra in case something went wrong. So I got one extra sheet, but that'll go on next. So won't need too much. So 4 meters, we only use 1, 2, 3. I only have to buy 3 more sheets and to complete the roof, so that's won't be bad. I'll have 2 more posts and 3 sheets of steel, and it'll be done. But man, what a difference this makes. I mean, this is a huge area now. try and get a perspective of it. So now, I mean, that's a huge area. So this is going to make a real nice just hangout. Because you live outdoors most of the time anyway in Thailand. You don't even go in the house. So right now the footprint is much bigger than her house. Probably twice her house. So storage room there in that corner. Not very big, 2x2. And then a bathroom, 2x2. Which in meters. So a little over 6 foot by 6 foot square bathroom, and 6 foot by 6 foot square storage room, and then countertops will come along here, and we're talking about making a little bar area kind of island like in this area. So don't know if that'll come to be or not. We'll just have to maybe just leave it open and just do the built-in cabinets, just cement countertop, and then we'll lay tile over the top of that and try to find some wood. I'll be on the hunt for some natural wood. Try to do that. It'd be nice to have natural wood countertops too, but we may have to go for the tile look. The wood tile look. So we'll see what happens. Got lots of guys driving down the road here, but then I have to get it cut, slabbed, and so quite a bit more investment in tools, planer, and you're not going to find a big 36-inch planer anywhere, let alone try to find some lumber 36-inch. But anyway, so that's what it looks like. Makes a big difference. Looks nice and exactly what I thought. This side came out is pretty square. Must have made a mistake somewhere along the line with my measuring. Which, again, we didn't really try to square these up too much. It wasn't one. See, that one's cocked that way. So right here it gets really bad. So we're right on center there. Something happened to this one. This is where it got screwed up. And then this we just made, I tried to match both ends because these actually came long. This one here came long. So what I tried to do is match that one, which is why we put that filler in there. So that's how much difference between the two heavy steel and the two light steel. There was that much difference in the length. So I tried to make those two come out, so I really wasn't worried. And we'll trim this out so it won't look too bad. We'll get this all trimmed out. This leading edge here, and then this trailing edge. So in the end it hangs over a little bit here on the front side, a little short on the back side, but by the time I trim it out, nobody will ever know. Don't tell anybody. Giving you all my secrets. But so yeah, it'll look all right. And same thing on that end. I'll trim the front edge. The side edge will just be as it is now, and then somewhere down the line I will put gutters along this anyway, so to try and catch some of that water and not wash away what little bit of work we have. I try to keep all the runoff as much as possible, so which means gutters on the house as well, which be a little bit of a challenge. So all right, that's update for now. See where we are at the end of the day. Okay, 2:30 in the afternoon, same day. He's welding some, I guess what I would say, some tie back for the form. A little American style, and then we had a wooden filler board just to keep the bottom from oozing out. So we're gonna have those little kickers like that. And we'll kind of tack that all together, just temporary, and then when we're done I can come in and cut all that loose. So I think 2 per section. We got all the corners are set level. We checked level across the floor and it's perfect. So what we're doing is we're just making a little gap, and right before we pour we'll clean out a lot of that to fill. Don't want to clean out too much, but we'll clean out a lot and get the ditch cleaned out because so much is falling in there. So kind of got our height set. Just got to get everything tied back, and I got to get this one cut to length, set down in there, but I'm not going to do that till the last minute because I want to clean out. Everything's ready to go. I just got to cut it to length. And that side's all set and welded in. We just got it pinned in. A couple on the front and a bunch on the back, about every 3 feet, so that ought to hold that. Those pins are in pretty deep. So not bad for a day's worth of work. 2 guys got all the ceiling done. Well, a guy and 1/2 me. I'm not much help after about 3 hours. That's all I got in me. So yep, tool collection's growing. Chai. Yeah, so what we're doing, just getting some of that just to kind of get into that permanent ground, because a lot of that we took out of the ditch there. Yeah, and then we'll set that, and by the end of the day we're going to be pretty much ready to go. Sorry for the background noise, but the temple's right over there where the light's at, and for some reason at 5:30 in the morning they play these video tracks, and then we get the bells at 6 a.m. But the joys of living the quiet country life. But people start stirring early. Anyway, this little video segment is to show you we have the forms are all in, and you can see the laser light. They all came out really good. We are just right on the money. So this one is just hitting right at the top of the form. So let's see if I can get my hand in there. So right there's the top of the form. My fingers are on the top of the form and right there into the light. So we're hitting right at the top of the form all the way around. This side is not quite an 1/8 high, 1/8 of an inch. Couple millimeters. It's a little bit higher, but that's good because if I get any water between the house and the new roof, it'll kind of shed away from the house. So, but yeah, it's spot on, man. I couldn't be any happier with that. It's strong as hell. We got everything reinforced, so today we're just going to do a little bit of work, a little final patching, a few places where cement might leak out. Clean the ditches out and backfill. This area needs some backfill, so we're going to work on some backfill and leveling today, but that's about it. We're not doing a whole lot. So, all right, cool. Thank you. Okay, we finished up about 11:30. And he's just doing the final, trying to smooth it out a little bit. We used a 5-meter pole, and it's hard to get around those steps and make it look flat, but we'll end up tiling over it You just can't buy a float. You can't buy a big float in, at least not around here. I've looked at a couple places. The local stores don't have anything like it. You can get a little hand float, or you get that long beam, but they're just not wide enough or heavy enough to get anything done. So what I had was that long pole that we kind of screeded over the top, and then used a little hand vibration to get it flat. But he's gonna, after it sets a little bit, he'll go back over it and work it some more, but it's still pretty wet. They have a lot of water in their concrete, which today was good because the concrete guy was supposed to have 6 meters of boom and then a 6-meter PVC pipe. Of course, they didn't have 6 meters of either, so we had to reposition the truck over there. So you might have seen that in the time lapse. So yeah, it's just things that you got to deal with in Thailand. It's never easy. It's never what you expect it to be. People never have what they say they're gonna have. Like the edging trowel, I tried to explain what it was, and they said, yeah, we got it, and then they didn't. I couldn't find one in town anyway, so it'd been nice to put a little edge on that edge of my form, but I do have a grinder, so any sharp points I'll just knock down with the grinder. I gotta take the grinder to all these poles anyway, because there's all kinds of sharp edges on that. But that's 10 yards of concrete. We had about well, I should say 10Q, which is a square meter, is a cubic meter, not a square meter. A cubic meter, which is almost the same thing as a square yard. A cubic meter is just as a cubic yard, but a cubic meter is just a little bit bigger. I believe so, because a meter is longer than a yard by about 3 inches. So, but that's what we ended up with. That'll be a pad, and I'll fill in that little space there, but I got to get that form off. They were trying to fill right up to it, and I was like, no, you can't do that yet. But I'll use all this rock and concrete to mix a little bit and put my ramp up there for the motorcycle. But I wanted a flower bed over there, and then we just did this to use this up. Eventually this will be another pad right here as well. So yeah, there's 19,000 baht, which is right now the dollar is strong, so I would say it's right about 700 bucks roughly for 10 yards of concrete, 10 cubic meters, and we had a little extra, but it was a lot better to order one extra yard. We thought we needed 4, but we just ordered 5, and so that worked out about perfect. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe as always, and hope everybody has a great day. I know I'm gonna sit down and do nothing for 3 days because this kicked my butt. I am hurt. So thank you much. See ya. Okay, we're all wrapped up with the concrete portion of the project. I'm going to put the time lapse on a separate video, so if you're interested in the time lapse, it's in a whole separate video because it's about 30 minutes long on itself, but it shows quite a bit of the whole pour, and it did take a long time. So the time lapse is 30, but it covers about 4 hours of the project. So get this out, and thank you much, and please subscribe. Thanks.